Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome. Y'all, listen, I am super, super excited about this. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know exactly where we're going, but it's dropped in my spirit that I need to do this. So I am following the lead and the spirit and what I hear inside for me to do. And it's to basically share with you guys. And so I want to welcome you guys to the very first episode of the House of Jas podcast. And I'm super, super, super excited because here's what I want you to keep in mind when you come and you come kick it in the House of Jas. I want you to keep in mind that there's only two rules, right? There's only two rules. Rule number one, you got to choose you. Choose you, and everything else will choose you too. That's rule number one. And that's 365 days a year. Choose you. Rule number two, refer back to rule number one. Those are the only two rules in the House of Jas. Now, other thing I want you to keep in mind is that the reason why I named this podcast the House of Jas is because I want you to view it like your home, right? And when you're at home, like I want you to be real with yourself, when you're at home and nobody's there, whether that's in your bedroom or your bathroom, but when you're at home, that's your safe space, right? That is the space where you feel like you can be most yourself, you're most authentic, right? I know, because I feel the same way. So the reason why I named this the House of Jas is because that's what I want you to think about. That's where I want you to live, all right? But for all of my girlies out there that are Southern girlies like me, what I don't want you to think about is that old rule where we used to have what goes on in my house stays in my house. No, 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 no. I need you to be totally vulnerable like you would be in your space, in your safe space, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sharing some things that are going to take like an immense amount of vulnerability, okay? Also, I want you to keep in mind that what goes on in this house does not stay in this house because that's when we can be our most comfortable, right? And so I was like, I needed my own little space and people were asking for it. So why not give the people what they want? It's the House of Jas. And I'm super excited about it. So on the first episode, there may be a lot of people out here that don't know me. So I'm just going to let you guys kind of get to know me. All right. So my name is Jasmyne Cherie. And I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in my past. I am a mom of 3 boys. Shout out to all of my boy moms because, I don't know what that life is like with a girl. I've always wanted one, but God didn't bless me there. And I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm good with it. But I'm a mom of 3 boys. I am from actually Southwest Georgia. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been here about maybe 10, 11 years now. But I am from Southwest Georgia, a small town called Camilla, Georgia. And before you say it, I know you ain't never heard of it, but it's okay. Most people have heard of Albany, Georgia, which I actually went to the unsinkable Albany State University. All right. Shout out to all of my HBCUs. I went to the unsinkable Albany State University where I had a blast, the time of my life. If you were not blessed to have the HBCU experience, come to homecoming with me. 1 year. You could just come to homecoming with me. Leave in the comments and tell me that you're coming. But nevertheless. So yes, I'm from Camilla, Georgia. Born and raised. I actually started out my professional career as an educator. I was in the education field for about 10 years in the classroom. And now that I think about it, I lied. I actually started out in management, but that's a whole different story. See, I totally deleted that. But started out teaching, educating, and also coaching. So that kind of leads me into what I've been doing for the last 13 years is really teaching, coaching, training, and facilitating. And so I always thought that that was my gift. I always thought that that was my purpose until I started to listen, until I started to get a little bit deeper, until I went into the actual House of Jas, which was the heart of Jas, and realized that my real gift is communicating. I have the ability to kind of grasp information and regurgitate it in such a way that the masses could understand. Hence the reason why I wanted to start this podcast, because I wanted to talk about different topics just to gain perspective. I don't really believe in that whole this is the right way or this is the wrong way, because I believe people are meant to live in different ways and to grow in different ways and to see things differently, because if we weren't, we wouldn't, right? So I just know that I've been blessed with that gift of communication. And I've also been blessed with a gift of receiving information and being able to be neutral about it or seeing different perspectives. And even if I see those different perspectives, I've been blessed with the gift to actually have other people see those perspectives. Now, one key thing about that is you can't necessarily, or it's not good to necessarily like hold these grudges or think about people negatively. Just agree to disagree and keep it moving if it doesn't fit. So that leads me to my next thing. Anything that you hear here, make sure you take what you need and leave what you don't. And it's okay. And we'll be cool. Because that's how I actually think that people should roll through life. Take what you need, leave what you don't. We get so caught up in trying to want people to really understand, not only understand our opinions and the way that we think, but we want them to take our opinions and then apply it to their lives. And then we get frustrated when they don't. And so that's why this is a safe space, because it's going to be me a lot of the times, but we're going to have other guests on, and I'm super excited about it. Also, I want to let you know, because this is the House of Jas podcast, you got a little beat today. You got a little eyelash, but it probably won't always be like that. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, it probably won't always be like that. If you see me show up in my cheetah print robe, listen, mind your business, listen to the podcast, take what you need, leave what you don't. My whole thing is to make sure that you are experiencing what it means to be comfortable and confident in who you are, what you're saying, what you're living through, and what you're speaking on a daily. Choose you 365. That is what I believe in, because I believe if you choose you, everything else will choose you too. And then we're going to talk a little bit about my other mantra that I live by, which is keep yourself at the top of your priority list. Okay. So there's no selfishness over here, only self-preservation. And those are type of things that we're going to be sharing. And so I'm just excited because, yeah, we're going to get into the nitty gritty. If you really have wanted to know who Jasmyne really is, you're going to find out on this podcast, and you're going to find out through all of these different episodes. I cannot wait, and I can't stress that enough because I'm excited. Listen, if there's a topic that you want to talk about, because again, we're going to go deep into some topics. And like I said, I'm from the South. So there was a lot of things that we weren't supposed to talk about or display or whatever. A lot of things that were swept under the rug that have, I know for me and my experience, that have molded me to who I am, things that I've had to deal with in therapy. So shout out to my therapist and shout out to therapy. If you ain't in therapy and you need to go, okay? Life changer. Been going since 2021, faithfully, okay? But there are some things that I think that help mold us and shape us in our mindset and our thought processes that we're going to talk about. And I'm going to lead the conversation mostly about what I've experienced. And so, yeah. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have you. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, like this channel, and comment below and let me know that you're here and that you're along for the ride. Share with your friends and bring them to the next episode of the House of Jas podcast. See you soon.